Hey everybody, Prepper Nurse 1 here. Today is Sunday, October 8th, 2017. I am off for another hike today. As you know, as I explained in my last video, I did 0.6 miles, and so I had to do a little bit of a reevaluation. So a couple things. Yes, this time I have the top of the rig attached. I got told that, I got scolded. But one of the things for sure that I did this time, I actually put on 2 pairs of socks, layered up my feet. So, because after my last walk, and even though it was a short walk, that was definitely one of the things that made a huge difference for me, was the socks. I mean, my feet were hurting, and it was because of the rubbing and stuff like that. So, and like I said, my boots are fairly new, so they're really not broken in yet. So socks were a huge thing. What I did today before I left out, I'm going to show you the sky. Like, it's pretty cloudy over there, and if you look, it looks like it might rain. I'm not 100% sure if it will. I mean, over here we got some open blue skies, but anyway, if it rains, what I did is I actually went through my pack and I pulled my rain poncho out and I put that on the very top of my pack, because if it starts raining, I just pull that out, stick that over the top of me, and that'll work for everything. And so that's a good thing too. Okay, so one of the things I want to talk about, well, let's say you bugged out and either you have a rain poncho or you don't. Either you do or you don't. Okay, if you don't have one, a canteen, if you don't have a canteen or something, on the side of the road everywhere are empty bottles. Okay, so you know, there's always going to be bottles around. So you can pick up one of those bottles, and as long as you have your Katadyn water system, that's what I have in the pack. It's Katydn, if anybody's interested in checking them out. One filter will filter 10,000 gallons of water, and it's really lightweight. It's under a pound, so it's a really good thing to have. So I have my Katadyn water filter, and I actually have a backup filter. So just with that alone, that's 20,000 gallons of fresh water. Okay. Now, if you don't have a Katadyn system, you can always get water purification tablets. Well, if you're hiking along and you find your water bottle, and you're like, all right, I gotta find some water. Now, being in the Northeast, there's water everywhere. So obviously a lot of the water you're not gonna want to drink, because of the fact that it's you know, not going to be drinkable until it's been treated. But either with the water tablets or water purification tablets or your Katadyn system, you're going to be able to drink that. Now, so like if you have just the tablets, let's say, I think it's like, it's a half an hour for them to be good. So you fill up your you know, empty pop bottle. Like, okay, here's a can right there, okay, in the ditch. You could use that can. That can could be used over a fire to heat up water that way as well. So those are things, and there's another can up here in the ditch, okay. So you're going to want to grab stuff like that. There's going to be all kinds of things along your way that you're going to be able to utilize that, you know, are definitely things that can save your life. Having fresh drinking water is definitely going to be a major thing. So if you come upon that water source and, okay, you have 4 or 5 bottles and you have, you know, maybe some metal things as well, you're going to try to fill up everything you possibly can so you have enough water, because who knows when you're going to see more water. And like I said, up here in the Northeast, we got water out the wazoo up here. So I don't really have to go that far to see more fresh water. Well, not fresh. living in the country, when you're out for a walk, anybody that drives by, everybody waves. So I actually like that. Okay, so weighed my pack. My pack's about 35 pounds, and so I went 6/10 of a mile last time. The plan today is I'm going to do 2 miles today. Now you're going to say, you know what, that's not really a lot. And you're right, it's not. But I'm not going to overdo it and hurt myself, and then I'm out of the game for a while. I'm trying to build my strength back up. And so I made a, you know, like I said, I got on a scale the other day, and I was 224 pounds. So I was like, okay. The most I've ever weighed was 227. So I was right on that precipice of that, and I'm not going to wait till I hit 227. So I'm like, okay, that's it. Time to change. Start exercising more. Number one, exercise is definitely key, and the other thing is, you know, eating better and eating right and cutting out a lot of my sugars. I have a sweet tooth that won't quit, guys. That is my weakness. That is my Achilles heel. I love my sweets. So I decided, okay, well, time to do something about it. And so I got on a scale this morning, and I'm real happy with the results so far, but obviously it's only a couple days. But big difference when I went to bed that night and when I went to bed last night. It was a 4-pound difference already. And then this morning my weight was even lower. So, you know, because when you're sleeping, obviously, and you get up and you're using the toilet and whatnot, you're going to lose weight. But so anyway, so let me show you here. Here's an example. Right down through here is a creek bed. All right. So, and so you have water right there. You know what I'm saying? So I haven't really walked that far, and I've already hit water. So, you know, the water's there if you want it. And so, like I said, I'm gonna work my strength up. I'll probably, what I'm planning on doing is doing a couple of hikes a week. That's 2, maybe 3. And, you know, every time I go out, I'm going to go out a little bit further. Now, one of the things I want to talk about too, now this was quite interesting. So I haven't really looked at my pack in quite a while, I'll be honest with you. And I actually need to go through it a little bit more. But I went through it a little bit, and a couple things that I found out. Obviously, first of all, my rain poncho was absolutely at the bottom of my pack. So I rectified that and put that at the top, okay? So that's something, and I also have a rain jacket in there as well. So those are things you want to think about as far as placement in your pack, because you don't want to have to, in a downpour, open up your pack and go rutting through your pack and trying to figure out what you're going to use at that point. And of course now I'm going uphill, so. Second thing I found out, I had 2 flashlights in my pack. Turn the first one on, good to go. Now, what I do need to do is pull those batteries out and put them into a separate bag so that I can have them, you know, when the time comes, just pop them into the flashlight and then they'll be good to go. The second one, his flashlight's now worthless. The batteries have corroded inside the casing, and I'm going to still see if I can't get them out. I'll screw around with it a little bit, but I'll have to play with that later. So here I am the other day carrying a flashlight that is absolutely worthless to me in the condition that it's in, but I'm humping that weight. So those are things you want to think about, okay? Looking through your gear, making sure you have the right things in your gear, and that type of thing. Now, here's something I wanted to talk about as well. Now, basically, I'm planning on bugging in. Obviously, that's my strategy, okay? You never know when you might have to bug out. I would hate to think I would have to bug out. I have a lot of supplies. Well, let's talk about a couple things real quick. Number one, if I had to bug out, or any of you guys, especially you guys in the city, I want you guys in the city and in suburbia to think about this. The roadways are going to be parking lots. There's going to be so many people trying to get out that way that they're not going to be able to get out. Okay? So, a buddy of mine down in South Carolina, Reese, we've gone down there before and visited with him. So him and I were talking, and we're talking about the railways, train tracks. How many people are going to be on the train tracks? And it's a straight shot, unencumbered, and that would be a great way to get out of wherever you are, is knowing your railways, knowing which way you want to go, and you won't be encumbered by all kinds of traffic in your way or a ton of people. Because a lot of people don't think about that. So that's something to think about for sure, okay? Now, for me, let's say SHDF happens, and, say my people get to me in a couple of days. We're going to go down this way. So let's say my people get to me within a couple of days. All right, so now right up to where I just went to so far, it's like 9/10 of a mile. So I'm going to go down here just a little ways, then turn around and head back. Okay, so say my people get to me, what is one of the first things we're going to be doing? Well, anybody that's watched my channel knows that I have a lot of food. A lot of food. The last thing I want to have happen is to be overrun and not be able to, get out without my food or anything else. So one of the things that I will be doing early on in any kind of an event is doing caches of food supplies. Now, that's not saying that I already have a couple of them out there already. I very well may, and I very may well not. But one of the things for sure is when an event happens, a lot of that food that I have is going to be put away in 5 or 6, maybe 7 different locations, so that is there. So if we had to bug out in a hurry, let's say 2,000 people were coming, and it was mayhem and craziness, it's time to get out of Dodge. Well, at least we know we can always come back, and not even just the food, guys, other stuff as well, gear that we would want to have to use and stuff like that. So, if you had to hump out on your back, what you can carry on your back, and get out of Dodge for a few days, once they've ravished everything and moved on, you could always go back, okay? So that's something to think about. Just, like I say, planning ahead, that's what it's all about. All right, guys, well, listen, I'm going to be turning around here in a second and hike my mile back, and I feel pretty good so far today, so that's a good thing. So anyway, listen, remember, hug and kiss the ones you love, tell them every day. Tomorrow is not guaranteed, we never know what's going to happen. And remember, guys, STD, it's one step at a time, one thing at a time, and one day at a time. Whatever you're trying to accomplish, you can do. You just have to work at it, okay? I will talk to you all tomorrow. Prepper Nurse 1 out for now.